Mr. Crowley, what went on in your head? Oh, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Your lifestyle to me seems so tragic. Where's the thrill of it?
Here's my take on Aleister Crowley. People have asked, is Aleister Crowley a Satanist? He's obviously been identified as a Satanist and was identified by non-Satanists back in the day. But does that really make him a Satanist? Well, for a long time, I kind of agreed with the Church of Satan's outlook on Aleister Crowley, that he was not a Satanist, that he was more of a philosopher, who tried to develop his own style of magic and philosophy. The Church of Satan kind of tried to wash their hands of Crowley. They tried to disassociate themselves with Crowley and did not want to be attached, symbolically to Crowley, And I think that's primarily for political reasons, for philosophical interests. Recently, my friend Pal 9 turned me on to something about Crowley. And for the first time I actually took an interest in Crowley. I tried to read Crowley's Magic and Theory and Practice back when I was a teenager, but it was a little hard for me to get through, and I kind of lost interest about, maybe a quarter of the way through. Since then, looking back and reflecting on what Crowley did in his lifestyle and his beliefs, I would say he is a Satanist. I don't know if he actually ever identified himself as being a Satanist. I think that other people called him a Satanist because his philosophical beliefs and his magical practices and his lifestyle kind of fell into, what people would consider a devil worshiper, before there were really any actual devil worshippers or Satanists. But yeah, looking back in retrospect, I would say Crowley is a Satanist. He is a pioneer in his field. He was a striving magician who attempted to master his environments and the elements, and he was a pioneer. He had little to go off of at that time, and he did his own thing, and he lived his life full of indulgence and doing what he wanted to do. And sure, he might have been a drug addict, and sure, he might have been, promiscuous, but who the fuck isn't, So yeah, my take is I think Aleister Crowley is a Satanist. I don't know a whole lot about him. I've only fumbled through a couple of his books on a handful of occasions, but that's my take on it.